Right, I hope the mic works. Hello everyone. Hello. I updated my Prism app, my streaming app. So I had to do everything again all over with the settings. So welcome everyone on this Tuesday English live stream. Welcome. I'm not sure I see now the chat. Also weird. Prism chat. Oh, should be visible. Hello everyone. Yeah, it's here a beautiful day in the Netherlands. I'm not sure if I'm really live, but welcome everyone. It's here a really summer day. I will put off my vest. Welcome everyone. But I'm not sure if I'm live because I see no one. I see one on YouTube, but it could be me. So welcome everyone. It's hot. It's warm. Yeah. Let me check what I can do. How is it on Twitch? Well, hello everyone. I'm not sure. I should be live. I think I'm live. Welcome. And okay. Let me check this to close off this. It's really hot in the Netherlands. And it's a real great after summer. Or they should call it also Indian summer. Hello, Klemmetje. Hey, yeah, that's indeed a long time ago. Yeah, and my name is now Rae, so. But yeah, a long time ago. funny username. Funny username. Welcome. It's the English version, dus het is in het Engels vanavond. Thanks. Thanks for the compliment. And what I'm talking about tonight is... Oh, now I lost my chat again. Oh, gosh. Prism has changed. It's very interesting. So what am I going to What am I going to talk about tonight? It's about my comic books and the origin of that and some examples of my past from the mind control in the MKultra. And I have my tea and everything ready. Okay, everyone is running. So I was a bit in distress because I had updated Prism and I thought, well, everything should run. Hello, Yvonne. Greetings and welcome. So then I had to hurry in the last minutes. And let me see if it's not too bright. Oh, wait. This should be maybe better. Yeah, more quiet. So, my comic books. Well, I have here next me and I'm surrounded by all my drawings and all my comic books. On my social media, I show already for so long some of my drawings and some of pictures of mine. And I did talk about sometimes about my comic books that I have sketched when I was already very little, and I had my first comic book when I was 6, 7 years old. Well, and I thought, well, I am going to more extendedly talk about it and the reason behind it, and that a lot of these comic books I wrote as a child, that was just in the surroundings of, at that time, of my front family and front parents, and even at my grandparents. So I will make, I will walk you through these. I also have images of that, but I also will show you in the physical that I really have all these things at hand. And then I started to realize when I was preparing all these images that I had so incredibly lot. Hello, Freebird on YouTube. Yeah, it's a really nice weather in the Netherlands. So I guess many people are sitting nice outside, which I understand. I was also very tempted to be outside. And ta-da! Do you see this? I have my new chair. So yeah, well, I like it. It was also, everything went just in time. Like also this chair was ordered Saturday, and I thought I would get it Monday, but I had it approximately 6:45, and then I realized, oh, I have to put it all together, and I was alone in the house. So me working it out and figuring it out, and I managed to figuring it out. So here I am with my new chair, and it's very comfortable, and specifically for my back. So it's nice, huh? It's relaxed, and I can twist and turn. Well, I will not turn too often because that's of course not. I know that from other YouTubers, not specifically not to do that. So I have here a whole package. This is only a part of the package of my sketches and drawings, which I put from all my boxes. I have a whole collection of them. And I will go through that with also maybe some pictures of mine at those certain ages. But the age I'm talking about when I sketched the most, that was in my teenage time. And my teenage time, so this will be an an evening with a lot of pictures. Some of the pictures, by the way, might be graphic. But I was already preparing, and I thought, well, I will not show the graphic details until later in the evening, so that then maybe also more people can join. But I don't see the on-screen chat, I realize. Oh, now I do. Let me see. Now I see the chat. Okay. Yeah, I apologize for that. It's a messy start because everything is now different with the updated Prism. So that is what I'm planning to do for tonight. Hello, Jos, welcome. So nice of you to join again. I'm really looking forward to showing you the drawings, but also the drawings really in the physical. And I will not show you every page of the drawing. I will make first a summary about what I wanted to start with, as you know, many of you know that my past was of MKultra or full mind control. And this full mind control was well, as the programmers called it, education. So they called it education very sarcastically. But in the front life, and that was my Dutch life as Monique, which I explained why I went to Rae Elisabeth, which is for me my original names. My surname might also in the near future, or maybe in a couple of years, being changed into, and that I will reveal my true surnames. For now, I will not do that because I feel too vulnerable still. and I'm not sure if it will contribute to something. So, but let me start with that the front life. In the front life, I was, when I was already very little, I was sketching a lot. And the sketching was, later on, I found out, and only in, well, 1999, I started to deprogramming actually, which I did not know yet, but from 2000, then the whole roller coaster started of that I got flashbacks from the Dutch life and from my Dutch abuse life with the granddad as the main abuser, sexual abuser. Also that the Dutch mother and the Dutch father also were involved. What I also came by was that when I started to check my drawings out of the box together with all the other drawings, I came by my heavily sexual abuse drawings, and it is a thick ordner, like an how you say that? Is it called an ordner? It's well, a map of which, specifically these old-fashioned maps in which you can just put in pages, and then you have them all stored together in one map. And I will show you also how thick it is, and that in the front life, I actually, the drawing and the sketching was my survival, partially my survival. Because later on, I found out when I had these awful flashbacks, when I started to recall in 2000 of the Dutch sexual abuse overall, and then later on in Belgium and Germany. And I did have flashes already that I was with groups and that I was in orgies at the cafe. And also when I opened up the map with the drawings, the collection of drawings this afternoon when I was preparing for the live stream, then I was shocked about all the horrific details in the sketches, in the drawings. I might, maybe not for today, but maybe next time that I will put on a Jitsi, and on the Jitsi I will share these detailed, maybe. I'm not sure, because they're really graphic, and then if I do that, then I only want to accept the people I know from the chat, and I hope you understand, or the ones I know from having had contact with Messenger, or in personal life, which, well, the majority are not in the live stream, because that's mostly the case. Your family is the least present, but that is very natural, because they know me also here in the house. They know me how I am, so they're not watching my live streams because they heard everything already. And I guess that happens also with others. So, and I recognize that also from other streamers. So I will put that away. Yeah, I have a little space with all these drawings. So the space where I was sketching was overall not only at home, but also in nursery school. Nursery school, by the way, I did sketch a lot of, how do you say that? These leprechauns, the kabouters, leprechauns, and fantasy atmospheric scenes like ponds, many swans. I think that also rhymes a bit. And a lovely, happy life. Well, what a lovely, happy life, it was not really the case, of course, because I had that hidden life. Plus, I was hardly ever at school. And later on in my memories, I started to recall, oh yeah, I was hardly at school. And the moments that I was at school, also, for example, at nursery school, then some teachers even wanted to improve my drawings, or I still recall that, yeah, with the clouds, that the teacher told me, like, you have to color the clouds in that way because they are in reality like that. And I said, well, no, I just want to have blue clouds. I thought, I want to have blue clouds, so I will draw blue clouds. And I still remember that. So the first thing what I, for example, sketched, and also that was a bit when I was 6, 7 years old. So that is here in the Netherlands. That is no longer the nursery school. I think I had a screenshot of it. I had a picture of it, but I had so many pictures that this one did not did not did not show in my map which I prepared. So, and I let go because the chair was delivered. So, and this is an example of one of the sketches. I will show it now like this. This is an example of what I sketch. I will later on just show you the screenshots and the images of that, the pictures of this. So it's not that you will get only pictures by the camera, but I thought, why not show as well the real pictures that they're real. And I'm sure you don't doubt that, but they are real. And I think when you see them physically, that does something. Well, that's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. And welcome, by the way, also on Trovo for if you're watching. Let me see. Oh boy, now I do this. Welcome everyone again on for the Netherlands. A great summer. And okay. Sign and post. Okay, Trovo. And welcome also, thank you also on Trovo for hosting my live. Thank you so much. So I showed you this first drawing. Well, that was the pictures I was sketching when I was at school. For the moments I was at school when I was 6, 7, 8 years old at the max. And then you also saw what I showed you, mushrooms. And I sketched a lot of flowers and very colorful. Well, the back side of this is why I chose to start with this drawing. I never showed you the back side of this drawing. The back side is I sketched approximately at the same age. And I still recall that I sketched that one, and the atmosphere is, when I sketched these horrific things, were what I later found out, the horrific memories of my MKultra-programming. And this sketch was specifically about what I've seen also in the military and with a certain basic programmer. And actually also, of course, the man with the little black moustache and Dr. Green. I have to be careful that I don't mention their real names because they're so real to me. So I always have to be careful that I'm not mentioning their real name. And that they were involved, of course, in the military as well. And also the programmer, which I call White Rabbit. And with him, I also have to be careful not to speak out his name. And then you have to think of this sketch, what I am now going to show you. I will also show you in the physical that it's really the backside of this drawing. And but that I sketched that while I was at the grandparents' house. And with the grandparents' house, I was just sketching these horrific things, and not only this horrific thing, but far more things. So later on, I only realized, man, what did I do? What did I? How is it possible that grandparents and not even the parents say or told me like, what are you sketching there? And is it not weird? Maybe it's also that I like to show you because. It's I believe it will be an alarming sign if a child near you, or when you're a teacher and you see a child sketching horrific things like hangings and beatings that people beat each other and worse, which I will show you, and I will do a graphic warning. You don't see any thing like blood or anything. But it is pretty pretty intense, I must say. So I will first show you the physical backside of this one, and I fold down. And so this was the front side. And by the way, again, for the other images, I will show you the pictures I have, and then next to that also a glimpse of the real comic books, and then I will fold it backside, and this is the backside, and I will also show you the picture of that. But this is the one. I'm not sure if you can. I never did this, but this I will show you. Maybe you can see it. Wait. Oh. It's of course backwards. Man, I'm not sure if that works, but can you see it? So this is the backside of the drawing, and I forgot to do the graphic warning to count backwards to 0. So I will not show it for too long. So that's the backside of this beautiful in the colors. And this is a great example of two personalities in me, of two main personalities in me. So the one who was in the front life acting like, yeah, I'm a happy child, I'm very shy, I'm withdrawn, but further on I'm doing okay, and I live in my beautiful fantasy world of drawing elves, angels, mushrooms, flowers, a lot of butterflies. I sketched a lot of them. So this is this one, and this one, by the way, has the graphic thing on it. Jos, your aura is good again, and your spiritual level is also fine. Beware of the evil. They are currently preying on people who come out of their bodies. This is a warning from an angel, Rae. Thank you so much, Jos. I feel very protected as well, but thank you for the warning. I am very cautious. But thanks, it's always appreciated. So thank you so much. So, then I had another, where is it? Okay. Yeah, you see me a lot searching for all these drawings, because what I show you here are the comic books, and all the comic books I have. A lot of them, as you see. And I'm not sure how it will go tonight in the live stream, if it fits to show all these comic books, but I will not again show them all with. So I have here another one. Oh. And this one I showed already in a live stream. Jos, you make cappuccino. Well, that's great. I have here my tea. So this one is what I have a small video on it on the YouTube, and that is this one. And it's about, in Dutch you see begin and still. It's begin and still. And in Dutch it is begin and still. And it's of carton, as you see it, like this. And you can fold it. And here I was 5, at the most 6 years old, and I end the whole comic book with uit met de fluit, uit met de fruit, and this is in Dutch. The story is now finished, and because fruit rhymes on uit in Dutch, and it's actually not related, but it is in the programming related, and that is what I try to touch upon also tonight in the examples with the comic books and with my sketches, that a lot I was trying to also call out for help. And that was also the case with this tiny little comic book, my first comic book, it's how I call it. And that was about uit with the fruit, so it's literally finished with the fruit. That, for example, the fruit was heavily used in the programming, like fruit, like apples, pears, bananas. Also in my programming was used pineapple. And I had in my programming, I did talk about that already in some of my live streams, that fruit is a beloved subject for the programming, and sadly enough also for a lot of sexual abuse. And in my case, I had also some vegetables being used in my programming, and that is being heavily used also in my Dutch front life by this granddad who abused me horrifically. And when I went by through all my sketches in past afternoon, that I was shocked of how horrifically I was abused with all kinds of methods, but also with all kinds of objects. And one of the objects which was also put in my programming, as well as being used literally with the abuse and the sexual abuse, were carrots. And yeah, I don't have to mention any longer what exactly you can do with carrots, but I came by in that whole sketchbook of mine, in that collection of the drawings together with the comic books, how extreme, I was abused with all kinds of attributes and objects. And I only realized that when I was going through all these sketches this afternoon, next to all the comic books, of course. And then I made a selection of some sketches which belonged in the same time period as in what I'm showing tonight specifically. And that is when I was a teenager. So then you have to think of 1982 and 1983, and also a few from a year later and a few from a year earlier. And next to that, what I just showed you, I have also a screenshot of it, so I forgot to show you. I have prepared it. Let me see. I should. Everything is different now in Prism. It is so weird. It should be visible. I don't get it. Wait, then I will do it like this. Okay. So here I have the sketch which I showed you just now. So with the graphic warning, you don't see any blood, but you could compare it with a certain war movie, which is also very violent, of course. So there is some violence in it. So a warning. So I will show it to you now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here it comes. So this drawing, and I will also not show you too often, but you can see there's soldiers and all kinds of, heavy stuff. And what you see here, and I will only show it a few seconds, the rest I will show a bit longer, but this one is too graphic, that a lot of this on the sketch, that when I sketched that in the presence of my front parents and my grandparents, then that's what I wanted to say, and I did not finish my sentence, that if I would see now a child in my presence drawing, sketching something like that, I would ask further, and very, of course, cautiously, but I think it's pretty normal that I would be very alarmed in that, and then all what you saw, these graphic things, I had to watch also with the man with the little black moustache, who showed me all these movies when I was sitting next to him on the couch, and that I even had to hold in I could not go to the bathroom when I wanted to, and I was just a little girl, very little, so if you have to go, you have to go. That's nature. And I was not allowed. And it was also part of what I also never touched upon. What they called in my programming was potty training. Well, potty, you know what potty is. Also in Dutch, I believe that you then have to go to the bathroom, but then it's for very tiny, little, very young children to learn to use the bathroom and so on. And that was a part of a lot of my personalities who sketched were connected to also the horrors what I had to undergo with these potty training. And the potty training is not the normal common potty training of what every child should learn and be taught. For me, it was the horrific thing of potty training that I was put on certain potties which also had certain shapes. Maybe you still have them, but you have very cute shapes, by the way, to teach your child the potty training. And I like these examples, like that you have a giant bear, or I have to get used to that I can lean now and that I sit straight. It is so nice. I forget every time that I have now my chair and that I can just sit straight. But that with the potty training, that it was part of creating a personality in me, which was called Comic Girl. A Comic Girl was already shaped and programmed and designed by the programmers from very early on. And this Comic Girl was related to this, what I call potty training, not only of myself, but also the potty training of when I got children of my own. And some of these potty training were, so horrific. But one example was that it had the shape of a potty trainer, and it had the shape of a giant bear. And this bear was hooked to electric devices. So I don't have to say more, I guess, what happened and what I had to witness in front of my eyes while one of my children was sitting on that, what you can call potty. And I will not go further with how extreme, heavy that was to bear and to carry as an inner motherhood. But I escaped also by creating my Comic Girl in the Dutch life. And this is why I was sketching a lot. I was sketching everywhere. I even sketched my whole agenda full with my school agenda, for example, my school organizers. And that I did that already when I was, even when I was older, and when I went to the school for music therapy. What I was learning there, educating. Now my throat is responding. That's also interesting. And so that this Comic Girl, was a very big personality in me. Comic Girl was as well connected to the name Monique. This is a reason why sketching is very dear to me, but since I started to deprogramming, I don't sketch any longer. So the sketches and these comic books I will show you for tonight were from when I was a teenager. But for example, the other of the horrific traumas and so on of the what I have collected and what I have here next to me, lying next to me. I will show you in a bit that giant map with all the sketches. And that was in the beginning of my deprogramming, and that was approximately 2011, between 2011 and 2016, 17, 18, and then it became less and less and less that I had less entrance to sketching and also to painting and so on. Hello, Delvertje, welcome here. So sketching was a huge part of mine, and what I said connected to the name Monique. Well, another thing is that while I was in the MKultra-programming and the Monarch programming, that I also had these black ops, and these black ops, there I was confronted with off-planet things, and I put them in these comic books, and I only found out when I started to deprogram, and that is of course for me it was mind blowing when I started to recognize these things, what I've seen in other colonizations and off planet. And I will show you in a bit more about also the comic books. Yes, I know, Jos, yeah. But I know what it is, to step out of my body. So I'm experienced. I'm pretty experienced. But thank you so much for the warning. I appreciate that. So I will first show you that incredible collection of the drawings. Oh boy. Oh gosh. This is the map. Oh. Oh. I will not show you what's in it because they are the awful sketches which I'm not going to show you. So I have to say I will not show these horrific things, by the way, what's in this map, because I went through them and it triggered me. It triggered me incredible. So and this is the look, this is the map. And here are all the sketches. And it maybe not seems so much, but if you can imagine that this is all my horrific memories and flashbacks, and I sketched them all, and they are all bundled in this map. So again, it's this thick, full of sketches. And as I said, I will not show you the contents. Okay, so hold on. So then I will continue with the sketches of all these comic books. And the comic books, they were about, as I said, that I was specifically tonight when it was approximately in 1982, 1983, where I sketched them, and I had found a school picture of me when I was that age. And I will show you now this picture, and that was a school picture. And okay, here it comes. This is me. Maybe you do recognize me, but I was at that time, by the way, very, more. It's hard to say, but I was very introvert, and this was at the school of which I told in many live streams that I later on could not understand that I had also friends who were like the cool ones of the class. So this is me in 1982 and 1983, and this is the year and age of which I sketched all these comic books I will show you in a bit. So then you have an idea of me in 1982, 83. And as I said, I was there a teenager. I leave it a bit vague of what year, but you can then think of the age. The age approximately 15, 16, 14, 15, 16 years old. I will leave it in the middle. So that was. I will show you the first comic book. I have so many, so I think I have to also to make a choice of what I will show. Okay. How are you all doing? Did you also enjoy the incredible, beautiful day? I was flabbergasted by how warm it is here in the Netherlands, and such great weather. It's amazing. So, in my programming, I talk a lot about all kinds of fairy tales which are used for programming. And this is an example of this is a comic book of around that age, as I already said, and this is about the fairy tale Cinderella. And this Cinderella, I had many Cinderellas in my system, and Cinderella was the personality who had to be or asleep or had to be like also Snow White, to be kind of in a frozen way, a frozen personality, not feeling. It was a transition. Yvonne, I was at work today, but nice and cool inside. Yeah. Yeah, here, our house is nice cool when it's hot. And everything is open, doors, windows. It's nice. And I love heat. I love warmth. So here you have the first page of this comic book. And yeah, for the ones with the mobile phones, let me know if it's too small. And a lot of the themes I did with the comic books were that I was very into dance, that I put ballerina dance in it, and I wanted to become a ballerina when I was very little. So I wanted to dance and become famous, and I wanted to also be a famous musical star. Well, I had all these dreams. Even I wanted to become an ice skating artist. Like I watched a lot of when I was a teenager, I watched a lot of the Olympic Games with ice skating. It is in Dutch, by the way, for the people abroad, and I wanted to translate it all, but then I thought, well, that's so much work. I was flabbergasted by how much I wrote down, and it's all put with a type machine. By the way, when the majority of these cartoons and these comic books I sketched initially in pencil, but I don't know if I regret it or not, but myself, I find it sometimes a pity that I did it, because another personality then found the drawings with a pencil not good enough. Or not clear enough, or not the expression enough. And then I was at that time very into how do you call them? These are these pencils with ink. So then you put the ink in a bottle with how is it called? Calligraphy. What you also use for calligraphy, but that is then a pencil. How you say that? Pencil. Yeah, I did. I think I did say it in the right way. A theme was always in many of the comic books I sketched. I will also show you the second page, because again, I apologize for the people who cannot read Dutch. I think it's maybe not the most important thing, and this is the second one. And the second one, and I did in the comic books, I also put always a lot of poverty, so that I came from poverty, and like Cinderella was, that she was growing up in poverty, and she was the poor girl. Hello, Alice, welcome. And she was, of course, punished by her stepsisters. I hope I pronounce it well. And this is the second page. And of course, for you all Dutch, you can read it. That's the advantage. Then, and also a lot of the comic books. By the way, a lot of comic books have been thrown away by personalities when I was already. That was during the deprogramming, and I moved a lot from in the Netherlands to a lot of places, and at least 7-8 times I moved. So then also some personalities took care of it, that I threw away some of these comic books. And here you see also the stepmother, and the sisters. And then there is what I did make some other thread to this story of Cinderella, but that there was a wise woman, and this wise woman, she then warns for. She was actually that woman who then made Cinderella go to the ball and so on. But in this story, and I will show you next next sketch. Okay. Okay, this was this one. We'll put this one away. That is literally what you know of Cinderella's story, with with a beautiful coach and so on. Well, I made some twist to the story that is well, how you say that, Petermoei? This fairy who then give the message to Cinderella, like you can go to the ball and you have here the slippers and so on. Hello, Tineke Jessie, welcome. I'm pretty hot, and I must say I never did something like this. So I hope it's a bit interesting that I show you all this, because it was a spontaneous idea also in last live stream to show you all these comic books what I have left. And yeah, I'm not sure if it's well, what in this case is important with this comic story, what I did also as storyline, I added that Cinderella actually got also a history being told, and so, but yeah, it's too much to translate, I realize. But then you have an idea, but yeah, you recognize these things, from wait. So here is the page of which then is being told about the history. So I added that I got told the history of who I was, where I came from, because I was very into, when I sketched this comic book, I still recall that very vividly, that I was very much busy with, okay, Cinderella, but in the fairy tale of Cinderella is being explained why she was being orphaned, why she was with her with the stepmom and her dad and the stepsisters. And I was always I wanted to create my own story, and I will translate a bit because that's important, because in my life, also in my Dutch front life, I always had the feeling like I'm adopted, and I never spoke out with my front parents, but I always felt my whole life when I was in the front life, I felt like they're not really my parents. So I must have felt it somehow, that something was wrong and not right and not what is called normal. Now here it says that is in this, in the middle left, there I write down the history of Cinderella, which I called Katie. Katie, I also sketched another comic book which was called Cathy, with Cathy. So I had something with Katie and Cathy, with Catherine and Katie. And I had also a Catherine, by the way, as a personality. And a lot of, by the way, also a lot of the personalities and the character names, I gave them names of my own personalities, and only later on I found out that it was the case. So, Delftje, I cannot read the words. It is too light gray. Oh, right. Okay. Well, thank you so much for the feedback. And if I enlarge it, let me know, because otherwise I will just read it or make a summary of what you see. So I will wait a bit, and I love to hear from you if you can read it now when I enlarge it, because then it has no purpose that I show you all the sketches, but then I have to go through it. Is it still too vague? But if I translate it, then Katie was born, and they were poor but very happily. And in the end, we decided to immigrate to another country. And actually, the Petermoei, so the fairy, was, and that was also my own thread to the story, my own invention in the story, that the fairy who gave Cinderella the beautiful slippers and the beautiful gown to go to the prince, to the ball, that she was actually her real mom. And then Cinderella found out, and then this mother is now talking to her, and yeah, how she, the past of Katie. So I added, it did not change. It did not change, so the same. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Delvetje, for the feedback. Then I know that it's unreadable, then I'm not sure what I'm then going to do. But the twist to the story was, well, maybe then the images will say something, will show something. So I apologize for that it's not readable. In the picture where you see the water, and there is that they were on a ship, so crossing the ocean for a new life, and that's in the middle section, to the right. Oh, Barry. Oh, follower or subscriber only chat. Okay, yeah, I changed that. I can change it, Barry. I can change it, I guess. I will go to the mod view. Let me see how I can change that. Oh, that was of last Thursday, I think. How can I change that? Welcome, by the way, Barry. Oh, let me see. Then I will go check if I can change that. One moment. And I'm doing it also with my right hand to spare my left hand, so... Wait. Oh, hey, I got a... Wow, with a party of 10. Wow, welcome everyone. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome. Wow, incredible. What you see here is comic books. Hello, I'm Rae Elisabeth Wallace. You were already... What is it about? It is about my MKultra past, mind control. I come from full mind control, so for everyone who I'm new to, I'm Rae Elisabeth Wallace, and I talk about my mind control past, and that I sketched a lot of comic books, of which apparently I sketched my own personalities in these comic books, and it is related to that I started to shout out for help in these sketches. So I'm showing the comic books of my teenage years. And that is what you see now. But I just got the feedback that the text is unreadable. And the text in the text balloons in this comic book, what you see, comic book page, is in Dutch. So for the people abroad, it is also not very handy to read, but it is in Dutch. Sadly enough, unreadable. So I'm not sure what I'm then going to do, but so this is the story. But welcome everyone, and also for Barry, of course. Thank you so much for the raid. I'm always happy with the raids, and welcome. Take a look around here in the. It's a nice chat room, respectful chat room. Yeah, I enlarged it. I will now enlarge it, but I still got the feedback that it was not sharp enough, the typed words. So I can try, but let me see. So. And it is what I was talking about. I do see it, and I don't have that big of a screen. Okay, shout out to Barry. Zoom in. Yeah, yeah, with the boat, and these were the real parents of the main character in that comic book called Katie. And the fairy in the Cinderella tale, I made my own twist to this comic book story, and that the Cinderella, which I called Katie, was then the parents were poor and then were crossing the ocean, and yeah, the mom tried, and then the ship was lost at sea because of a storm. Of course, drama. I love drama also when I was little. And then you have to think about that it was 30, 40, 15 years old, and that the mom tried to save the baby. And she tried the baby, she tried very hard not to lose the baby. Then, and here below is then at the cemetery, and I had a lot of I had always a lot of symbolism as well with cemeteries. And oh, I should show you that, of course. And this cemetery symbol was, of course, grave, the symbol death. But for me, it was also the symbol of new life. And they were saved. That's what this text bubble says. And but your dad and the rest of the crew did not survive. And yeah, she was poor, the mom, and here you see her, the poor mom, at the grave of the father and so on, of that shipwreckage. And then she had to put the baby in front of another house. And this is actually the Delftje. I can read it now, but it is a lot. Yeah, I know. This is why I make a summary. And by the way, it's not about that you are forced to read it or something. You know, it is. It is also a spontaneous idea of how would it be if I would show you these comic books. And apparently, this is this is of course pretty important that you can read it, but I make a summary in English because it's the English live stream. So you can let go of reading, Delvertje, or maybe you can rewatch the live stream and then. But now maybe I will change this live stream. I'm not sure if I now will show you all of my comic books because I really wanted to go through at least two or three other ones I sketched, and all were connected to the mind control as well. And this is why why I love to share it. And it's I'm also proud of it that I could sketch with having all that abuse and all that sexual abuse and that mind control stuff. So the mom, and that is this last sketch of this drawing, that she would leave me behind in a well-suited family. So this was my own twist to the story of Cinderella, but it doesn't end because I have also the next page. I'm not sure if I still dare to show it, but I will just show you because you wanna know the end, I guess. So this is the next one, and I did all first. Initially, I did sketch it with crayon, and then here is a lot of text. But with my fantasy, I have to laugh now. But there were years going by in poverty, and then there walked inside a man, of course, a very rich man, very neat, very rich. And it was King Rudolph the First. That's how I called him. And he was in person entering. And that I can translate it. Wait. So her husband, who was apparently the last son of this king. Can you still follow me? And he was very mad at his brother, and yeah, he just ran away, and he wanted to totally split from this brother Rudolph, and um, and then this Adolf, so the dad of the Katie, then found in the end found this mum of which you see in the chair here, and so it appeared to be that this um, that Katie was in the end, yeah, I will make it. It's so much to make a summary. But in the end, it appears that Cinderella herself, or Katie, I called her Katie, was herself a princess. So that's nice. Nice ending. And that is a very short summary. Thank you so much, Delvertje, for the compliment. So, yeah, here is then in the end that she marries the prince of which she danced to on the ball. And that is a quick twist to the end, because I realize it is so much text, and what I got back is that it's hard to read. So Barry, what I find well done is the typed text in the width of the columns. Oh, thanks so much. That's a great column. That's a great compliment. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a pity that that it did not come out as the way I wanted to. Oh, you did not see the last page. Oh gosh, I did not show you that the last page. So, this is very quickly the storyline. I mentioned a lot in all that text. I'm sorry, I was too late with showing this one. So it's about drama, and also the dancing. That I wanted to be a ballerina. I talk about that in live streams. That my wish was always to dance, and well, this it is a happy end. The prince marries what appears to be also a princess. If you really want to know the story, then dear people, I can send you then all the pictures of the all pages of the comic book. So only if you're interested, because I realize this is not really handy to show you all the typed text. So I apologize for that. Tineke Jesse, I'm so very sorry my phone battery was dead. Oh gosh, that happens sometimes. But it is fine, Tineke Jesse. It happens me too sometimes. So, again, I will show again, also for the new people, where is it? No, not that one. So, then you're talking about me. This was me when I was sketching these drawings. And this was me at school year 82-83. And I was always smiling, but what's behind the smile? It's Delvertje, you have nice flowers again, Rae. Yeah, thanks so much. Yes, it's the remain of the flowers I had. I was given a few weeks ago. That was already last week. So yeah, Now I am figuring out, should I show you these drawings, the other comic books? Yeah, thank you, Tineke Jessie. And as you see, I showed it already. Oh wait, I should do it like this. Look, my new chair, and I can lean in my chair like this. It's nice, huh? I have to get used to it that I can lean now, but I forget all the time that I can lean. But it's comfortable. I can sit straight. So what am I going to do? I will show you the cover of another comic book. And this comic book, as I said, was Kathy and Katie were a lot of times used in my comic books. And I remember those big sweaters, very useful when pregnant, like I was in the 80s. Big sweaters. What are big sweaters? Sweaters. I don't seem to recognize the word, Delvertje. Hello, Richard McCann. Welcome on YouTube. So here I will show you this picture of another comic book, which around the same, when I was the same age, and called Kathy. This comic book is also very dear to my heart because it was a mixture of Indiana Jones. Well, I guess everyone knows Indiana Jones, and again a lot of text being typed. And again, I was a ballerina in the personality. Sweater jumper. Ah, okay, sweater jumper. Oh, sweater. Yeah, now I understand. I remember those big sweaters. Oh, yeah, of course, in that picture. Now I get it, that picture I was showing you. Well, you can, of course, not read possibly the text, but it was, I was inspired by, at that time, I will make it also a bit smaller, inspired in the time by Indiana Jones movies, by adventure comic books. Like you had for the girls here in the Netherlands, you had a comic book which was called Tina, Tina. And these Tina comic books, I was very motivated and I was inspired. So I did take sometimes small, how do you say that? Yeah, inspiration from that. So, and here I was a ballerina. In this story of Kathy, I was a ballerina, and and she was ill. So here you see also me getting dizzy spells, and that I wanted to become, and I had a big performance as ballerina. And it is related, by the way, to also personality in me, which was called Kathy. So I will also make that bridge to that personality as well. And yeah, I have to laugh because I think a lot of you remember these big sweaters, yeah, and these big long sweaters with long sleeves and knitted sweaters as well. So yeah. So here you see me on stage in that sketch, and then what happened then, I will show you the next one. Is that I collapsed. And this collapsing is related to what I talk about a lot in the live streams, about that I had a lot of heart experiments and that my heart was being, what is being said is that it was being damaged. I don't know, in the deprogramming, I also got to hear that, and that even a lot of things, what I had to endure, like crystal liquid through my heart in these heart experiments. But I still am figuring out what was really the case. So this comic book, I also will show you the physical one in a bit. There was pretty thick comic book, so I will not show you all the pictures. But here you see in this picture specifically that I was dancing, and then I collapsed. And then you see below on the left page that I collapsed and was in the hospital bed. Well, then, let me see. Then on the right page, you see there that there is a stewardess saying, "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen in the Boeing 747 for Africa. you can now fasten your seatbelts or you can loosen your seatbelt. So, and the funny thing is that I apparently knew the language of stewardesses, of being in a plane. And well, I was, until 2001, I was in my front personality, I was so sure of that I was never ever in a plane before. In 2001, I was for the first time in a plane, in the Dutch front personality. Well, this has skipped the storyline because she in the hospital met next to her when she was lying on the hospital bed, and you see here in the corner, in the right corner of the right page, I will enlarge it, that she met Ben, and Ben is a physician, and this Ben, yeah, they were becoming friends and started to become in love. And then she thought, like, I will escape the hospital and then try to go with him to Africa, because the parents were lost. The parents were lost in Africa of, if I seem to remember well, Kathy, because it's pretty a long time ago that I sketched it, and I did prepare a bit, but so then she escaped with him in the airplane, in this Boeing 747. Well, then the whole story about it. Oh, I did not show you. I have to skip. So I myself, in real life, in my MKultra life, I was escaping a hospital literally as well. And that was also in my personality as Kathy. So I sketched in this comic book things which I had to endure and was forced to undergo in the programming as well. Well, with this comic book, there were also other things in it, and I will show you in a bit. But as I said, it's a pretty thick comic book, and I have it here. Wait, yeah, I have it here. Here. This is the comic book. This is the pages. And I have not a very well camera, but you see there all the pages. So that is the physical one. So with these experiments as Kathy, that I woke up in a hospital, and that a nurse in that hospital, and this is happened in real life in my MKultra. And that I was woken up in the hospital, and that a nurse tried to reprogram me and wanted me to flee the hospital. And I did flee the hospital, so I put out all the IV stuff and the tubes, etc. And then I ran out of the hospital. Delvertje, you must have spent so many hours drawing, coloring and typing. Yeah, so nice, yeah. Yeah, I hope it was a good idea that I show you these comic books, because I was so enthusiastic, and then I realized, oh, it's unreadable. And it's also in Dutch, so... Tineke Jessie, do you have made all these pictures? Yes, Tineke Jessie, I all sketched it myself, and also the storyline. But of course, I was inspired by, as I said already, Indiana Jones. I mean, I think even Spielberg and so on. So that was all happening in the early 80s. All these movies came out, and heroes and hero movies, that love connection should be in it, adventure, also science fiction. I have also science fiction comic book, which I will also show you a few pages of. And by the way, what you see here on the right corner of this page is that accidentally there was a surgeon in the plane, and he was also very worried when Kathy collapsed. And this collapsing in real life, I also collapsed in my programmed life, but in also near to my beloved man. I met then, who is an American. And African American, but yeah, he doesn't like it to speak it out like that. But it's for now more handy. So now comes the next page. Did I wait? Oh yeah. So the next page is that they are in Africa, and well, she wants to save her parents because when she was in the hospital in the Netherlands, no one else believed her, and she wanted to save, yeah, her parents and find them. The parents happened to be kidnapped by a tribe in Africa. Yeah, it was the 80s, eh? Then it was still possible to do that. I know nowadays you don't do that any longer, but it was inspired by a lot of movies and cartoons I wrote. And then here you see again that Kathy got dizzy spells. And this, by the way, was also after the parents were saved from the tribe in Africa. And a lot of things happened. Kathy also got bitten by a snake. Well, this is just an impression of this journey, of this adventure in Africa to save the parents while she was heavily sick and she needed surgery, and then she escaped the hospital to save the parents together with Ben. And Ben was this main character she met also in the hospital in the Netherlands. And in my life's story was also, yeah, me being in love with a man who also helped me save my life. And yeah, he started a journey with me to help me deprogramming. So yeah, so this is a bit the these are the pages, and then I have still one to show. Yeah, it's I don't know. Do you like this type of presentation? Because yeah, I'm not sure if it's fitting for a live stream, but yeah, everything should be a tryout, I guess. And here is the happy end. Richard McCann, it's very good to express your creativity and quite necessary to carry your story forward. Nice work. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, that motivates me. Well, here you see then the happy end. And that was always Sputniki. Hey, Sputniki. Yeah, love it. So romantic. Yeah, romantic. Well, that is part of the story that I built in that I could survive also in my front life, because in my front life, in this, I even took care of that. In the right corner below, you see einde, and einde is in Dutch the end. So that was inspired by movies. So yeah, and I was the balcony scene. What is the balcony scene inspired by? I think you will know why. And I love that writer of like Shakespeare. So that's why it's on the balcony, because I always loved the Romeo and Juliet, and As You Like It is one of my favorites, and another one which I forgot now, but it is of Shakespeare, like the verse in it, I love you like 1,000 words or something. But yeah, it is. I loved these plays of Shakespeare. So the happy ever after end, yeah, and that was always my wish. When I always wanted to have a happy end with this dear man, and we fought our way out to freedom. Well, he tried to free me from the MKultra, of course, but that means that he also was and became a target, because he wanted to free me from he wanted to free me from the MKultra and from the deep state. But yeah, he had to reach so many personalities in me that yeah, it was hard work for him. But our wish was always to come together again. And yeah, I will not say too much about it, but I know miracles do exist. Yeah, and I'm still in love, so I realized that too. Excuse me, last 6 months I discovered a lot about love and all kinds of layers of love, and that I realized there is no one who can ever reach who he is. I leave that in the middle. So, and that's a choice, I guess. So I also that is also since I changed my name into Rae Elisabeth, that I realized, this love is the love of my life. And he helped me save. He carried me literally, physically to safety at times when I collapsed. So, and there will be no one else like him. So, and that was a huge discovery in me, because while I was going through all these comic books, I also started to realize, like, how many times I also in the front life, by the way, also collapsed, and then I fainted, and this fainting was later on also the because of all the programming, and it was just too heavy, or I came from heavy abusing life in the programming or black ops, and that I just fainted because I did not eat too much, because I was not allowed to eat a lot in the programming. But yeah, when I was looking through these comic books and all that theme about happy end, you see that, by the way, in all my comic books, what I show you, the majority of them, all are happy end. Happy end with the man of her life. So, but yeah, fairy tales end in happy endings. So yeah, Delvertje, we can use a miracle or two. Yeah, definitely. Maybe a miracle around the world, I guess. It is such a turbulent world at the moment, and I last couple of days could not watch any longer the news because I was too much over just. I got flooded with all kinds of bad news from in the world, and not only the flooding, literally the flooding, like the flooding in China and the cruelty on Hawaii. And I said that earlier in live streams, but yeah, my clairvoyancy is also increasing. So yeah, I've seen horrific things with my clairvoyancy as well. So, but yeah, the happy ending. Who doesn't want a happy ending? Everyone. So this was this comic book. Very current floodings in Greece. Oh boy, it is. It is sad for the world, and this is why I today as well. Again, what is with me dominating is all the time this vision I have, this vision of that the world will walk out in a huge event, in a huge walkout, and it's just a vision. It's just a dream. I'm not saying that it will happen. I've seen it. Jos is going for a smoke, and I see it's already 9 o'clock. Well, then I will pour in some more tea. And yeah, I have more comic books, so if you like seeing that, and I have prepared some pictures, but I'm not sure if I will show them. They are pretty horrific, so. Delvertje, I say no to evil and yes to love. Yeah. I see it come by. It's so nice. I saw it also on my Telegram. I think it was yesterday or before yesterday. That is so nice to see. Even a Burning Man was a warning for those people. Water is stronger than fire. Burning Man. Yeah, Burning Man is a huge event, huh? For those people. Water is stronger than fire. Yeah, this. I always have a mixed feeling with the Burning Man. But yeah, we will go for a break, and 10 minutes, 10 past 9, I will continue, and yeah, I will show you a few other comic books because I prepared that. So, Delvertje, Burning Man sounds horrific. Yeah, Burning Man, but maybe it's not what you mean, Delvertje, but Burning Man is a festival, and Burning Man is actually created by people who, are very into into freedom, are very into freedom of expression, creativity, and so on. And that then with that Burning Man, with that what is a giant statue, and that people then can burn their past or burn their burdens, etc. So it's a nice symbolism, but the where it's being done, I also find that interesting, that it's being done on in a desert. So people have to have enough water with them. That's always what I found a bit, I don't know, I was always a bit, yeah, I'm not so liking the environment of that festival, but Nevada desert, yeah, Nevada desert, so. But yeah, everyone helps each other, so if people have not enough water with them at that festival, then they are being given. But it's a very deserted and a desert area where they do that festival. And then that's the giant ritual, that's the highlight of that festival, that huge statue is being burned. And then a few years ago, was also a horrific thing happened. Hello, Marco. Motor home owner smoking weed and drinking beer, basically. Yeah. Yeah, but very creative people and very into freedom of letting go and reborn. And yeah, also many new agers. Yeah. But yeah, it will be a break. And well, I will continue showing you more pictures of comic book, and maybe some of the huge map I have with these horrific abuse drawings. And I will not show the most horrific ones, but maybe a short section will be about that too. But let's see how I will feel about that. Let me see. Short break. English. Okay, and I will play some music. And yes, a question. Do you like to see more of these comic books? Is it interesting enough to show you? I mean, it is a true question, because I found out that the text is not so readable. How is your chair? My chair is fine. Yeah, it is. It's comfortable. I can sit straight. So, but it is. I'm not sure. I feel the edge here. So it looked in the picture. It looked on the website far more softer. So, but I have to get used to that. I can now lean with my back. But yeah, it's a nice model. I don't know if you can see it, but it has bitted. It's velvet, and it is turquoise, like your name is on Twitch, Delftje. You have to get used to it, maybe. Yeah, maybe, but and it's for me important that I have a good posture and that I'm not sitting like this, but sit straight. Oh gosh. Oh man. Okay. And it's weird because I feel a bit insecure because I was so enthusiastic about showing the comic book pages, and I realized that it's not so going so fluid as I initially wanted to. So, yeah, that happens too sometimes. Okay. Yeah, I just love this song with the whole lyrics. But I will show you more in a few minutes. Let's have a break. And welcome everyone on YouTube.
Yesterday's news
Yvonne, I like the comic books. Thank you.
Blues, and I'm overcome. I didn't choose to feel this way. I got caught in the lights of some other man's spite, and now it seems as if my life bears the loss. But I'm still here searching for everything I hold dear. I'm still here believing in you. Step out from the field, used to feel good, yeah, in the old neighborhood. I could sense the respect of a passerby. I could trust a chance from that brief, peaceful glance. Maybe we'd share a smile along the way. But I'm still here searching for everything I hold dear. I'm still here believing in you. So step out from the fear. I'm still here feeling that good will have its day. I'm still here. Yeah. Through all these years, I'm still here. Looking for you. Oh, I'm still here searching for everything I hold dear. I'm still here believing in you. Won't you step out from the fear? I'm still here feeling that good will have its day. Yesterday's news has become today's blues, and I'm overcome. I didn't choose to feel this way.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song. I love the lyrics as well. Hello, Jane. Almost missed it. Hey, welcome. I did receive your mail, by the way. Thank you so much. And I want to answer it really in a relaxed time when I have the time. So how nice of you to join me here in my live stream. Yay! Here it's nice, warm. It is still hot. It's already evening here in the Netherlands, so we're in the break, and yeah, I think I will continue because it's 9:10. So okay. Yeah, sure, Jane. Yeah, I'm also curious what you write, and yeah, of course, so much good luck also with writing your book because it's very important that the story gets out there of how MK Ultra is true. It is true, and that the elite is in it, many of them, and forced to be in there as well. So, Jane, it is just early afternoon in New Mexico. Oh, wow. Yeah, here it's dark and past 9. Okay, I will go in the second part of, and I'm showing, for everyone who just joined, I'm showing you comic books. And as I said, before the break, I got a bit insecure because I all prepared it and then I did not realize that the text is a lot and it is in Dutch. So And but I will translate, but it is related to my life in the MK Ultra, and that's what I wanted also to explain for tonight. And again, I will show you the picture of the age I was in when I sketched all these, approximately these. Wait, where is it? And again, here it goes to honor the teenager me with also these giant sweaters, like just came by in the chat. So this is the me of in 1982, 83, school age. You see me smiling there? And by the way, I was smiling also because I finally could wear some lenses which were working, because I had first some lenses and they were the soft ones and I got all kinds of infections. So cute. Yeah, cute, huh? Yeah. And I was always hiding with these giant sweaters. I was always hiding my hands inside of the sleeves. Do you remember that? Maybe some of you also did that, but for me, it's showing the shyness, I guess. But okay, so another comic book. I just showed you about Kathy and Katie. So Katie was that Cinderella-based comic book. Kathy was the adventure comic book. But I can... oh, no, let's wait. This is the other one. And here is one which is related to science fiction. In the MK Ultra, I was also working, well, not working, I was programmed to be off planet and also to go outside of my body and remote viewing. I did all kinds of versions of experiments, and I was also in Russia. Many live streams, divided over many live streams. I'm talking about that, and that I had a lot of experiences with, even being stuck in matter. I think I told also in last Saturday's Dutch live stream how I know what it feels to be stuck in wood. Not knock in wood, that's another expression, but I mean stuck in wood. So that I was in these experiments and in the training to go for the black ops. I had to find out how it was to go through other matter, and that I was stuck in a wooden floor, the planks, and it's very strange, because when I now talk about it, I can again feel how it feels like, and going through wood as in with my energy body is different than concrete or through a ceiling. It's really different. But I can ask you all, like, do you have that experience? But that's, I know I know it's very, it sounds very bizarre, but there is an incredible difference in that. Oh man, I see now something which I hoped would not happen. Why is that? Oh, this one is clearer. Okay, well, that happens. I show you now science fiction, and I see now that one of the pictures is not clear enough. Well, okay. That's okay. Here's the first one. So it will not be chronologically. It is a live stream. Oh gosh. Yeah, the first one is not sharp enough, so I will leave that one. Let me check if the second one is better. Yeah, the second one is better. Okay. So this is a science fiction comic book. And again, I was a teenager. And here it is. And it is in Dutch. And why do I show you this science fiction? Because it is what I've seen in also when I was off planet. So I will enlarge it a bit. Here it is. I was, as I said, in MK Ultra. I was also involved with, well, a man who tried to save me. And in many of the comic books, there were always heroes who were a man. And a man became then the love of my life. And many times this man was, for example, a physician, a very intelligent man. And I have to laugh, but it is because, yeah, it's the memories of this dear man who helped me in my real life deprogramming. Well, here you see a bit of details of this comic book. And the first page I could not show you because that was in a horrible size, apparently, in a kind of thumbnail. Here you see also, for example, in the... this is another one. Which one did I show? Gosh. Tineke Jessie, there are a lot of science fiction movies and pictures. Yeah, if you mean in the world, there is. Well, here you see, for example, below, and that's on the left page of this comic book, you see there the bubbles and people floating in the air, it seems like, and that they go through a kind of portal. And these circular shaped, or like, yeah, you can compare it with soap bubbles. And these soap bubbles were energy bubbles. And I literally was often, when I was off planet, I met also these type of bubbles. So that these bubbles were not like soap, of course, but they, if I would touch them, then they would move. I could shape them, I could make them bigger, I could make them smaller. But for example, that it also could evolve in that to float in air. And this story is about that it was somewhere in the Netherlands. And it starts always in the Netherlands because, of course, I come from the front life. And I think I have that first page as well. But, oh man, everything is... No. No, I thought I had it prepared. Well, it's a live stream which is not going fluently apparently, but I let go. But that woman then suddenly appears on the streets while I was walking at it. So the main character of the science fiction story is then walking on the streets somewhere in the Netherlands, and then suddenly a girl beams up on the street in front of her, and that is the girl with the green face you see on the right page. And she says, "I am Zora, friends. Don't panic." But she is asking for help with, and meanwhile in the story, people are from everywhere, from several countries, being sucked into the portal. So the people in the car you see on the left below corner, they were sucked into also the portal, and they came from Mexico. So I already was very busy with the whole world. And there was a group of people who then suddenly were sucked into the portal with that woman who calls herself Zora. And the Zora girl, the Zora woman, then meets them again on her world. And that is the next page I will show you. I will go quickly through it because the presentation is not going as I wanted to. So, where is it? Oh gosh. That's this one. Here it comes. 2121. Oh, a beautiful, a magical number. So here is another page. So this is on her world. And okay, now I will enlarge it. And there you see on the right side of that page, you see also the doors, for example, open and close. And yeah, they were also inspired on Star Trek because I was a huge Star Trek fan. Hello, Into, welcome. Welcome on this evening, on this Tuesday evening for the Netherlands. Welcome. I'm into showing you my comic books, the science fiction comic books. I was, by the way, I forgot to mention that I loved also clothing designs. Here you see on the left side, you see these types of clothings, and also on the left side corner of the Zora main character. I love designing clothings, and yeah, that's what I suddenly realized as well. Now I see this. And you see then on the right side the Zora, which is that green lady, the alien lady, that she was moving her hands on a kind of projection screen. And then you see again these bubbles. And these bubbles came from, but it was only when I started to deprogramming that I realized, hey, I know that it does exist. Like also inspired, of course, like the Beam Me Up Scotty, like the of Star Trek. Yeah, thank you so much, Into. Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed, maybe in myself. I can be then too perfectionistic, I guess. I wanted to show you actually quite a storyline, and yeah, it's apparently not working well for me. So I have to skip a lot in the story and so on. But I hope it gives an expression of my inner life in my creativity as well. And what I wanted to show for tonight was specifically explain that I sketched as a teenager what I already knew in the deep state and what I was forced to do in the programming. And I hoped actually to succeed in that, to maybe give you a glimpse of how that was for me doing this and sketching this. And I will now show you another drawing. Oh yeah, this is also an interesting. And another Into, no worries, doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, I know. But it is, yeah, it is what it is, huh? And here is another sketch of that world. And another thing of that world was, which I really experienced when I was off planet, that there was a colonization who was only existing about women. And that all the men were being captured and being kidnapped and were gone on that planet. So that was a women's planet. I'm not kidding. And what do you see here in this sketch? Exactly about, is it the right one? Is it the right one I show you now? Uh-oh. Oh, boy. I hope it's the right one. This is the one I already showed you, huh? Well, on the right side, you see here also these floating devices. And yeah, that's the non-gravity stuff. Thank you so much, Tineke Jess. Yeah, it's a bit chaotic, but it's the way it is. It's what you say. Accept what is. Next time, I learned from this. I learned from this a lot. So now I have the right one. Okay. So here is that one I wanted to show you. Here I do a full explanation on the right side of the page, so the right page, about how that world was, that they were a bit like horse-like, walking horse-like beings. I'm not sure if you can read it, and it is in Dutch, by the way. So, it is more to give you an idea of. Also above, you see these chairs who were floating in air, and that was all related to what I've seen in also traveling, but also in remote viewing. And to come back to that women's planet, full with women, that in the archives, and those were archives, they were archives in Area 51 where I was, and there I've seen their history of that these women tried to ask Earth for help in this. So, in my opinion, this really happened. I'm not saying that the names are specifically the same and so on. So I did write, of course, my storyline to create a beautiful story, science fiction story, but that there was a reality, and that these beings, these women, try to ask for help on Earth, but sadly enough, that was not. It was not important enough, that planet. That is the sad thing about it. Jane, you could be a book illustrator. I loved Star Wars. I often say, "Beam me up, Scotty." Yeah, beam me up, Scotty. Yeah, that is from Star Trek. Yeah, I love that one too. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a huge Star Trek fan, and Star Wars. I did see, and funny that I see Star Wars because I have some Lego games. I have my PS3 PlayStation. Yeah, it's an oldie, I know, but that I was realizing, like, oh, I wanted to play Lego games again. So I put down my PS3 PlayStation, and I found the Star Wars Lego games I had, so I'm now playing that. So that's I'm into Lego games. It's maybe, yeah, it's very easy, these games. You can just continue and play. And by the way, Lego was once a programming. So and so yes, I mean Star Trek. I always confuse them. Oh, yes. Now I understand. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure. I'm curious what you think of the last version of Star Trek seasons. I was sad when I saw it. And the actors were great. It's not about that, but it was such a pity what they did with certain types, and yeah. Delvertje, not my cup of tea. No, well, that's so nice about being human, to be diverse and unique. Well, I see now, by the way, to come back to that comic book, I see now the sketch of this lady here below in the corner, with that you can see how I loved making beautiful dresses or creating beautiful dresses. I wanted to, design as well. So, yeah, and the other pictures of this comic book were, sadly enough, in the wrong pixels, and they are in a thumbnail size, and I don't get it. I don't understand it. I have the original. Will also show you the original comic book I have here. That is this one. And I don't have the best camera, but this was the first picture I wanted to show you. And you see there Earth, and sitting in the living room. And I was sitting with my boyfriend. Again, the laugh. Sitting with my boyfriend, and then walking outside. And then suddenly, to come back to the beam me up, Scotty, that this was the second page, and that page also did not There you see beaming up. And I will not show you all the drawings. Delvertje, I like your drawings more. Yeah, the single drawings you mean. The single drawings. Yeah, that is of course very individual. But it's so nice to share, you know, because this is part of. Oh, now I try to grab to my mouse with my PC mouse. And I did sketch a lot of pictures as well, but yeah, these are the comic books. That was what I tried to show today. Yeah, the other one I will not show because it's in black and white. Yeah, it is not what I hoped would become this live stream, and so, Delvertje, I do not like SF movies, but I like SF drawings. Ah, that's what you mean, science fiction drawings. Yeah. Well, I have, by the way, I had prepared, not related to the comic books, but I had a vision, a memory of Earth. And I do believe that there are certain dimensions and so on. And I have here an example of a singular drawing of what a personality sketched, because I asked her, hey, how do you see Earth? And then I got this one. So this is crayon, and this is what she sketched. Very interesting, because I'm still figuring out and want to remember more about how it all looked like from space, and that is still of course opening up in me, and I hope to explain more about that. But this is an example of a loose drawing, a sketch of a personality who I just spontaneously asked, like, do you remember how Earth looked like? And she sketched this, and that it was that you could compare it to an eye, how the eye is, so the physical eye looks like. Thank you, Yvonne. You did very well. Yeah, you all are so great. I'm not so satisfied with what I did this evening by showing you. I was, yeah. Tineke Jessie, this dark outside, I saw this on my window. Oh, this dark outside, I saw this on my window. What do you mean, according to the sketch, or that it's dark outside? I'm not sure what you mean, Tineke Jessie. I'm sorry, I don't understand all the text, and I want to understand you very well, of course. Well, I did show you already some other pictures, but it's part of a comic book, and that was very related to my programming. And I talk in my programming that I had also twins and even some triplets who were created as personalities. And I had sketched a comic book which I only have 3 pages left, and that is about this one, about a Zuko Island, and it is in Dutch, and it's called Escape from Zuko Island. And here shows the best how I sketched my slave life in a comic book. And here you can see that also accordingly how I sketched it, but here I was a few years younger than the teenage pictures I just showed you in the comic book. And you have Jenny, Lenny, Erica, Erica means also earth, and Mia is another word for also missing in action. And missing in action is, a very well-known expression, especially abroad in the English-talking countries. Missing in action, and Mia, if you turn around Mia, then you get aim, so like a target. But this was based on Slave Island, and I'm still very curious if this island might have existed. I even made a map of this Zuko island. I mean outside, I looked out my kitchen window. Ah, right, yeah. Well, it was a beautiful day, that's for sure. I will translate it a bit. So here on the left corner, upper corner, there is the castle, castle of Zuku Island, and also the master lived there. Well, read headmaster or the handler, had the basic programmer. That's actually what I try to show. These were the prison cells and the building, and this was the punishment tower. Yeah, the punishment tower where the slaves were also put in if they did not behave. And here below I will translate it from Dutch to English. An island for female slaves who for the moment would not be raped. It's literally what's being written there in Dutch. Because there were too big of amount of female slaves. And actually I showed there how I was innerly having so many inner personalities who were enslaved and were specifically for the Monarch programming. And this is expressing very clearly how that was. By the way, when I sketched this, I also still remember that the atmosphere when I sketched it. I talked a lot about that I am then for example, in the room with the parents often, or even with the grandparents, and I still can recall that really in detail, how I was sitting at the table, and meanwhile the grandparents and the parents were talking, taking their coffee, taking their tea, and many times we ate Chinese at the grandparents. And then I was just sketching all these horrific things, and also this, by the way. I also sketched this also there. Yeah, it is amazing that to write about enslavement, and also the next page will also show that. Literally, I show there the hideous, literally rape and enslavement. And yeah, I'm still now I know, of course, why my parents never said anything, because they were also part of it. So here is this is another part of this sketchbook, of which I only have left these few drawings, sadly enough. I wish I had more left, but yeah. That is accepting that wait, I will get the enlargement of it. Is it opening? Come on. Yeah, my photo app is not really... okay. Control F. Okay, this is the whole sketch. I apologize for... So here is another part of this comic book. And literally there is another female slave being thrown into the cell, into the prison. And then she says, well, I cannot even read it. Huh? Okay. Oh yeah, now I remember. This was a girl who was enslaved and brought to the island, to the slave island, because and she was in her wedding night, so she was on honeymoon, and that she then screams like, how could you have caught me on my wedding night? So here again is the love vibe in it, like always. Did Jessie? The app is very evil. Yeah, I, I must say it reminded me of that as well. But this was sketched when I was younger than, I think I was at that time 12, 13 years old when I sketched this. So then I was already sketching a memory of having been on Slave Island. And by the way, you see the carpet and the pillows in the corner. And I literally made that also of paper and carton, literally a town of which many of the puppets I made with paper and so on and cut out and then taped it that I could bend it and let them sit and move their legs and arms and so on. So, and in the corner, well, you can see it that there's someone being taken care of because she was just being, yeah, awfully treated. Let's put it like that. Sputniki, love the details. Yeah, oh, well, thank you so much. And that she, the one who takes care of the other one, says, well, we are now, we can have now a bit of a quietness because now we were, in other words, we were raped and we were treated as slaves and now we were brought back to our cells and now we can, quiet down and relax at least. And then the other one says, well, you cheered too soon, and then that girl on the right was being pushed into the cell. So that's another part of the story, and I had a third one. Katie, where is it? Yeah, that was another part of the story, and I forgot what it was, but it was about the earth. And that the earth was split in two. Not literally, but that there were demonstrations and that the earth was divided, so that was also in that story, but I forgot exactly what the storyline was, but I do recall that the main character was then falling into the gap of that two groups of people worldwide were fighting each other and demonstrating, and that meanwhile the earth was split in two, and that she felt like, you did not hear my warnings that the world be gone. Oh, I forgot to show you. And that is this drawing. So, and I forgot which part of the cartoon, of the comic book it was. And it was very heavy, and I did a lot of these sketches and comic books, of which very expressive in crayon, that I sketched that. And I think I have here another one. See. Okay. Well, I can see the expression, the incredible expression of it. Sputniki, stop the world, I want to get off. Yeah. Yeah, I'm laughing, but it's that feeling, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. And then I was thinking of showing you where it is. A sketch. Also when I was a teenager, and Now I show you some sketches. Question: did you get high scores in school for drawing? Yes, I did. Yeah, I did, and I was at school when I was at high school. I think it's called high school also in the USA. That I was there. I had a major in drawing, and that teacher was very nice. I was very lucky to have a very nice teacher, and he showed a lot of my drawings and paintings a lot of times in the classroom. But I was still shy, so I was always a bit like, oh, why should you do that? Don't put me in the spotlight, please. I wanted to dive behind my desk. So here is another one, and this one was, the next sketches were as well from teenage time, and that I tried to show help. I wanted to scream help. So these were sketches while I sketched at school, and I was actually screaming for help, and this is one of them. And maybe you can see the emotion in it, and it is like I am looking upwards, and of course the posture is very weird because I had to be very athletic to do this, but it was like I was screaming for help. Jos, it seems as if you were already looking at this time with that drawing. Yes, Jos, indeed. This was part of that I felt for sure since 2019, like I have to warn the world. I have to warn the world for this is not going into the right direction. Yeah. And this sketch really gets me because apparently I I I tore it out of my out of my school books, or where you write in. You had already when these schriften. What is schrift called? Notebook maybe, and that I saved this this drawing. I'm very happy with that. But yeah, it's very dear to me that I saved this drawing. But it says everything, I guess, of how I was screaming for help, and these eyes. Oh, I get goosebumps. Delvertje, black eyes and very raw. Reminds me of the Scream by Chagall. Yeah. Yeah, that could very well have been inspired as well. And the ballet. I was very into ballet, so, and I wanted to be very flexible, so that was part of it as well. But yeah, very emotional drawings. I was as well very much into masks and mirrors, and I did show you this sketch already earlier, but well, it is part of my teenage time, and that is this one. Like this one, I was 17 years old, and yeah, I think this picture I will always have with me, because I see there my true self, but through a veil. So as if I looked through the veil, like I am here. And yeah, this one still gives me goosebumps. And I know I sketched it myself, but it says everything about, look at me. I am here, but the veil of all the programming and so on. Sad, says Delvertje. Yeah, sad. That's that true. I think it expresses a lot. And yeah, there were times when I was sketching a lot also, and this was when I sketched this when I did the education to become music therapy. So I wanted to do, always help people and make people more consciousness and conscious about things and about the inner selves, about their inner parts and who they are. And I also did the music therapy education because I felt already at that time there is something wrong with me because I cannot be the one I wanted to be. And I was searching for myself, and then I felt like, well, I play the piano and I love helping people, so let's do music therapy. And I did try out, or how do you say that? Een kennismakingsdag, a day of which you can learn about this education, which is called Therapy for Music, Drama, and Dance. And I choose creative therapy. And I'm very grateful that I chose that, because it taught me even more that I was more into music. So I wanted to go to the conservatory, what I did after the music therapy years. And I realized that I was emotionally very withdrawn. I was more and more present at that school, and people were even not missing me any longer, and no one was really worried that I was not there. Very weird, because they were all studying for music therapy. Do you understand that? It's still for me so weird, and also someone in that way, even that for example, creative projects I did there were stolen from me. Were just stolen, grabbed, because I hardly was there. But then still, these people were studying there to help people, and they were stealing stuff from me. And yeah, and I understand, maybe it's just because they felt like, yeah, she's never there, so she's never present at school, and this art is lying there, and we need a score for our to get our end credits of the school year. But these weird, bizarre things I experienced. I made also a beautiful head of clay, and it was gone. Or maybe I did it myself, that I was in a personality who for some reason was so little there. So it's very mystery to me how as well as how bizarre things I experienced, and no one ever noticed weird things in me. Not really. Or they never told me. It's also possible. Delvertje, this picture shows a child and a woman in one. Too young on one hand and too old on the other hand. Oh, I get goosebumps, Delvertje, yeah. I wanted to show my real self and how much I knew and how much I experienced in that still hidden for me at that time. Programming. Okay, I will show you. And here comes another one, which is from the same era. And this one, also very dear to me, and that I even still have it. I'm very grateful that I still have a lot of sketches from that time. I will make it a bit smaller, because. And actually, I'm very glad I show you that. Even though I feel it's not my best live stream, but it doesn't matter. Oh. Okay. Here it comes. Here's the next one. Also very dear to me. And a lot of times when I sketched, I wanted to express how unhappy I was, but at the same time that I was so for the love of a mother and a child. And now, in recent years, now I did the deprogramming, I understand that too, of course. And again, these are original drawings, so no drawings from when I was deprogramming, but these were all what I showed until now, the drawings, original from that time, early 80s to mid 80s, when I was a young teenager to 17 years old. So. Because that could be confused. And I forgot as well to show you another picture of me when I was rotate. Okay. Tineke Jessie, no one is perfect. No, exactly, Tineke Jessie. And I will not repeat that. That it's not what I imagined to be. That's also what I learned. I can prepare, but then eventually it's about trying out. I did blur out the person's identity, but one of them is the front dad, and you see in the back also the little poodle I had, and the poodle who were also, was also, I was traumatized with that. I will show you that now. Delvertje, space girl, pigtails. Yeah. Yeah, well, I was not so into Spice Girls, I must say, but it could be. Yeah. But I wanted to express like, see me. I'm in the corner. I am. But I always try to show also, see me for who I am. Please see me for who I am. So this next picture is a real picture of me, and at the same time, maybe I only have a few of them when I was that age, but this was the same age of when I was heavily abused, also in the Dutch front life, and at the same time was sketching all these comic books I just showed you. And why do I show you this picture? Because I know you don't see me with my face, but I'm on the left with the yellow blouse. But this was, I found this picture, and maybe a personality in me kept it. Because when I was deprogramming and remembering the horrific memories in this blouse, in this yellow blouse, horrific things what my granddad did. I have a sketch of that, but it's I'm not showing because it's too graphic. And that it was exactly this blouse, and that I had this picture still left, so I put it in that big a map of pictures and our notebook sketches of the flashbacks. And this is one of the very few pictures I have left of that age. So, Delvertje, Spice Girls were in the 90s, so that could not be. Yeah, exactly. That is why I don't have a connection with that. Delvertje, the little doggy, the little poodle at the background. It's very misty picture. And this is the scratching from, I put it with in the section of all my bundling of the pictures and drawings and flashbacks, because at times when I was coming out of a flashback, then as well I sketched very wildly and just expressed with crayons, and and that also was releasing a lot, so it was healing as well to also at times just scratch. But I don't think I put that whole in the, well, you see here a lot of the scratching. Yeah, that is also therapeutic, scratching with crayons. Just go loose with the crayons. Okay. What do I have here? Okay, I was looking for another picture. Delvertje, running, screaming, or dancing wild can help too. Yeah, that too. Yeah, it's what fits, huh? At that moment. But yeah, I did a lot when I saw these sketches and comic books. Mm. And for the ones who were in the beginning of the live stream, I will show you now again this sketch of what I showed earlier. Do I have that sketch? What I showed in the beginning of the live stream, that was this one. A very happy sketch. I hope you can see it. And the backside of the sketch. And this was when I was far younger than 10 years old. I was then, I think, 7, 8 years old at the most. And then the backside of this sketch I will show you, because not everyone was there then present in the live stream. I will show you that. And this is a graphic warning. Not that you see like gore or something. Not that, but it is pretty, yeah, you see some cruelty. And this is again an example of what would you do if a child would sketch that in your presence? What would you then think or maybe do? I would be alarmed, and I sketched this in the presence of my grandparents and the grandparents. And you see there the things I had to witness also. And I talked about it, I think, in the last Saturday in the Dutch live stream, about one of the horrific things I had to watch in the Dutch live, and it was a hanging, and it was in a farm. And when I was preparing the live stream, I came across these flashback sketches, and that was not just one, but they were a couple of them, and I was amazed by how detailed I could sketch all these flashbacks. So that was this drawing for the ones who missed it. So that's the other side of that beautiful one I just showed you. So again, if I would see this from a young child, 7, 8 years old, I would be alarmed, and I would for sure wanted to find out, hey, why are you sketching this, or asking, there's nothing wrong with asking, I think. So, but yeah, that's a bit what I wanted to show you for tonight. Not a bit, I cried a lot. I had another. So, and the rest I will not show, because they were from the deprogramming. Jane, I'm mostly lying down watching, so can't comment, but I am studying everything. All your artwork, your creativity helped you survive. Yes, definitely. Yeah, thank you so much for your comment, Jane. Yeah, I survived also because of this sketching. That's right. And I had another comic book I wanted to show you, and that was about World War II. And maybe because I forgot to check the time. Oh, it's already, wow, how time flies. Wait, I've here. Yeah, that's another science fiction. Wait, I will. No. I don't think that will bring something. Delvertje, that is very disturbing for a young child. I would definitely be alarmed by such a drawing. Yes, I think that's a pretty healthy attitude, a reaction to that. I think so too. Yvonne, me too. Yeah. And interesting that I so remember how parents did nothing. And it was not just one time, it was a lot of times. Also, when I was the picture I showed you that was near our camping, where I stayed a lot, and also was, by the way, being handled from that camping. Yeah. And I can show you a few flashes of this World War, because I wrote also a story about World War II, but it is all in Dutch. But I will show you very quickly the sketches of it, the drawings. That was also a note. That was also in a comic book, and it played out, yeah, in World War II. So, and the chronological order is not there, I think. Well, oh, I did. Wait. So I will not show you the writing. Oh. But just as a oh. I'm doing everything with my right hand, and now come on. So this is not, and this is a black and white sketch. Maybe that's also nice. And this was in World War II. My own story about World War II. Here is another sketch, but I think it's hard to read because I wrote it with handwriting. And it's again about parents who lose their children, parents who suffer, parents who are initially happy together, but then one of the parents is has to leave the child, and that the child becomes an orphan. Yvonne, very good that you saved the books and drawings. Yeah, it's really nice. But maybe I do feel inspired to, for example, translate it in English. And then it might be a nice collection, maybe. I'm not sure, but for myself, I think it would be healing as well. But you can see then in these sketches also the expression. And I think that's the most important thing, what I try to show, the expression of also to scream out to the world, like, see me suffering, see me being a victim. That is for sure what I try to reach out to the world, like, see me. And then I have to think about that famous song of Alice Cooper, like, see me, feel me, touch me. And that song, that was that guy from England who had these charcoal eyes and running eyes with like a tear in black. Maybe you recall that, Alice Cooper. But that song was for me such that touched me because of the text of the lyrics, like, see me, feel me, touch me, see me suffer, see me, yeah, in these horrors. And nobody did ever something. That is also a fact. Nobody. But yeah, I never really literally called for help. So Delvetje, you could publish some of those comic books. Yeah, well, yeah, well, maybe, yeah, maybe in a collection or something. Maybe I have also my drawings of the abuse, and yeah, my wish is that it will be at times, maybe one time, yeah, being given to organization or someone who really can do something with it or can help others. Delvich, he was in the news this week, something about trafficking. I think I missed something. And Delvich says also, I never could scream, just once when I saw a cat having an accident. Then I screamed. Ah, you never could scream. And now you can scream, Delvich. It was already a few minutes ago, but I see your comments. Alice Cooper, I mean. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. And I can show you also the drawing of, then you have an idea of that I tried to write as well a story. Yeah, I'm laughing more about myself of how much I did actually. I also wanted to be a writer, and this was inspired by, well, what I later now know as well about this little man with the black moustache, of course. This is then an example of this writing, but it is in Dutch. I know it's not really handy with English English broadcast. And yeah, there is being talked about some, some people who were heavily also used in World War II. So I will also put it away because it's a bit sensitive, I think, for the TOS. But I realize that now. So yeah, that was actually what I wanted to do in this presentation. I'm still having to get used to this chair. I'm still not really sure if I want to keep it. But yeah. So this was my presentation. I will not say again how I experienced it. And it was not, what I thought it would be. But maybe you have now an expression of this creative part in me who only, sketched. I sketched so much, incredibly much. A small pillow can make a difference. Yeah, definitely. I don't get it. Billie Jean, what do you mean? It rhymes, I know, but I don't get it. Not a lady, you. Oh, okay. I don't get it. And please be respectful in the chat, okay? It's and respectful towards me. So I don't get it, but I let go for now. Tineke Jessie, thank you for your story. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for being here. And I'm not sure what I will do next time. I'm not sure if I will show all these comic books coming Saturday in the Dutch live stream. I'm not sure. Delvich, question: What is that? What is that tube on your left hand? Right for me. What is that tube on your left hand? Right for me. What is that tube? 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 Is it this one? From the boom? From the mic boom? Tube. Do you see a tube? The tube? Or is it this one? This thing? Or the bracelet? I'm not sure what you mean. With the tube? What is the tube on your left hand? Right for me. Tube. Maybe it's this. It's a guardian angel. It's a protection. I got it once. Oh, it is from the mic. Oh, yeah, this one. Yeah, it's the boom. It's the mic boom. Very great one, by the way. Very solid. Ah, now I understand. Yeah, I once got in India from a dear friend, an angel, and I still have it. Some things did not go away through personality, so. Okay, well, this is okay. Very nice angel necklace. Yeah, yeah. It's to just hang. It's not really a necklace. I believe it was really to protect me, and so sweet. Yeah. So I decided as well to not show you the horrific drawings, and because I have some which were a bit doable, and I had one prepared which was not from my teenage time. So I realized maybe not. It was from my deprogramming, and that was actually to express how simple it could be expressed, of how heavy a flashback is, but I'm not going to show it. Yeah, now I made you curious, of course. Oh gosh. And there's another thing about the chair. Yeah, we come back to the chair. If I do a bit like this, back, then I hear ploof. Do you hear that? Oh, chung, a sound, but I think I will try a pillow next time. So yeah, that was my presentation, and yeah, I will see if I will go next time in Dutch, the Saturday live stream, if I will talk about, yeah, if I will talk about this, showing you all the comic books. I'm not sure if I will do that. Ay, ay, ay. Delvertje teaser. Yeah, teaser. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think that will be it for tonight. And we can go into a more lighter mode for, yeah, just talking, or maybe you have questions, because you know I love questions. And yeah, Tineke Jessie, time flies so fast. Yes, indeed, it does. And it's now nice temperature here. I was really warm, and now here I go again. The few times I wear a bracelet, I cannot. I can't deal with it. What's that with me? I can't deal anything around my neck, and I just can't bear bracelets. Then it's just weird around my wrist, like simple bracelet. But this is why you don't hardly see me with jewelry. But yeah. Tineke Jessie, I have no questions for you today. Yeah, that's fine, Tineke Jessie. I'm not. I don't want to drag it out of you all. No, it's just the way it is. And I was live since 7:30, so I am pretty satisfied. I'm a positive being, so. But I'm not sure if I will do next time the comic books. Yeah. And I was thinking of what can I still add to also about that sketching. That it is, yeah, that I lost a lot of the sketches as well. So not only the comic books I lost, but that I had a lot of paintings, I had a lot of sketches, just what I did also when was in high school and made portraits for others. I still recall that I also, when I was at school, that it was a project then that people would model, so that people then would sit in front of the classroom, and then that I had to, for example, sketch the outline of the person, and yeah, what you have a lot with portrait art, and that at a certain moment that then others in my class were asking me like, "Oh, we want. Can you please sketch me?" Because they loved me sketching them because apparently it represented very well. So, and that was great. So I do have great moments as well when I was at school in phases that I was very creative, or I folded some kind of um, how you call that Japanese folding, and that I at one time came to school and it was still in the Netherlands, and that I was making tiny of paper. You know that I made a paper town literally in my life, and that then I made a small cradle with a baby in it, and every detail. And then people saw that at school, and then some of my classmates then asked me like, "Can you make me something like that too?" And then next morning I was with a bag with all kinds of cradles with babies. Yeah, I mean, of paper. So I do have great moments in that. Jane, can you comment yet on Prince? No, not yet. And also, I realized that in the of the TOS, maybe I will write you soon, Jane, about that, because I did not come yet to watch it. It's just I had 2 busy days, so I apologize for that. So I did not watch it yet. Someday the comics will be in a museum about mind control after we expose it to the world. Well, I want to give it to a good goal, a certain goal. Yeah, maybe, maybe. I guess more survivors did sketch things and from their flashbacks. I'm not sure, but yeah, that would be maybe. I hope so. And for sure, it will be the sign of that survivors like me and others are being believed that it is true and that the elite are into it. And by the way, the name you mentioned, Jane, it's about what I talked about. Yeah, I specifically chose not to mention names in my live stream because I then know that I'm safe to talk about it, and I also feel safer myself. So I appreciate your question, but maybe to avoid specific names. That has a reason, by the way. The reason is that I have my major mission. That is what I've seen as in that vision. That the world will walk out, that the world will stand up and say no. But there is a certain reason for that. So, and also because the TOS, the rules for live streaming is not really, it is not handy names. And then even in the Netherlands and in Europe, there is now a new rule about, yeah, misinformation. That is also a big thing now with a certain law, also in the Netherlands. It's sad, but yeah. Delvertje, you must have fallen asleep with pencils in your hands sometimes. Yeah, it could be. But yeah, I was pretty busy in the night, so maybe at daytime, yeah, who knows? Yeah, it could be. Jane, could you sketch D? Yes, I did. I showed in a live stream, at a certain time a sketch of her, of a meeting with her. So I will send you via email, Jane, if you like that. But I cannot remember which live stream I talked about it. But yeah, I have a sketch. Yeah, but it's fine, Jane. Not everyone knows that. But for me, it's for now the best way to stay safe. I have the feeling, on YouTube also that it's being, I don't know. I've been shadow banned for years, so yeah. Maybe the subject is not so attractive, or maybe I should reach other type of channels to promote my channel. But Yvonne, we are sitting on the tipping point. Yeah, exactly. And it will change. I don't doubt. It will change. I'm not doubting. It will change for the world, for the better. I believe in that. Because I've seen it, this future. Jane, I think it is good for you to stay safe. Yeah. And this is maybe good also for the closure. Like, I always feel a bit not stuck in the middle, but a bit turning in or running in circles, because I met so many people in the high end of society. So that is. Sometimes I wished that my programmers and my abusers were not these famous elite monarch people, and for monarchies and presidents of the USA, a lot of them, by the way. Hey, that is also right. That rhymes. So yeah, but thanks for understanding, and I will reply to your mail on my moment. And again, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I hope it was a bit interesting enough, and to show you my comic books. I will be going live next Saturday, and I plan on going live at the daytime at 11 coming Thursday. Not sure what I'm going to do, but it will be a more light-hearted mode. And last Thursday, or previous Thursday, it was very surprising because I started in Dutch and I did not expect English-talking people, but it ended up in people from abroad. So it was nice. So I let myself surprise. Thank you all for watching and commenting on all my channels. Thank you so much. Yvonne, more and more people are becoming aware. Yeah, definitely. Yes, that's the good thing. And you know what for me is important? That's mission, vision. I've seen it. I truly have seen it, that people say no to evil as one giant mass of standing up. This is why I like saying no to evil, because then you don't say names and it is individual, and I'm not calling up for something, but yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, Delvertje and everyone. And I think I will also go for my rest because, oops, I got the hiccups. I have a lot to do tomorrow. Busy. I have a busy week this week, so busier than other weeks. So I think I will go enjoy my rest. Thank you so much, Barry, for also moderating again and being there, and for the raid. Thanks so much. And see you next time, dear people. Yvonne says, love you all, peeps. Yeah, peeps. I love that word. And lots of love to you too, Jane. So, dear people, I will close off this live stream. Thank you for being here and supporting my channel. And I always mention it once in every live stream. Please subscribe, like, especially liking on YouTube does help, and I'm very grateful for your support in that. And I see a lot of people also joining my other channels, so thank you so much. And everyone on Trovo and who hosted my live stream, thank you so much for joining the channel. I see on Trovo. Can you react to my song that I made? I will check it out later on. Central, thank you for the comments. And everyone again, yeah, love you too. And I say no to evil. And well, I'm for sure glad that I showed you my comic books. And even the physical ones. And I will close off with again showing you the giant map with all my sketches of the abuse. This is the first years of my abuse life and the flashbacks. And it does not show maybe too much, a lot, but these are all very small papers and all my flashbacks are in it. So, and this was only a few years of my my abuse life. So everyone, thank you so much. Yes, Jos, thank you so much for being here as well, and thank you again for your warning and always your energetic support. I always feel that, so it's much appreciated. Huh? And dear people, we have to do it together. And that is really what I feel, but that we can do it together, that we will do it together. And I cannot say goodbye, I notice, but all right, dear everyone, love you all so much, and see you next time. And we are one in diversity, exactly. So, bye bye. Something different in ending the live stream. Hey, bye bye everyone. See you next time. Bye bye.